Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to make an ephemera folder with book paper and white paper, basically easy materials for you. So for the materials, we're going to use book paper, a brush, this is number 12, and then tea, distress ink and sponge, scissors, file folder, a knife, glue of course, a set of stamps, a paper cutter. So let's get this started. I have a lot of die cuts in the color white, but if you don't have it, which I expect, many of us don't have it. I accumulated die cuts in large time that I have been crafting, but you can make your own flowers and I'm gonna show you how. You have to make a triangle in any paper. Basically it's in a square, and then you fold it several times. So it's 4, and then now it's 8 and 16 until you get this shape, and then you just make a circle, kind of the shape of a petal in there. It's really hard when there is a lot of paper there, but you can see what I'm doing. And now something that I really like doing is cutting a tiny bit on the tip of the flower, like that, and then when you open it up, it is basically a die cut flower. I will not make more of this because I already have die cuts, but you can make as many as you want. Okay, so for our ephemera folder, we're gonna need 3 pieces of paper to start with this basic structure. So these 2 are gonna be folding, and then we're gonna need a 3rd piece that is for the closure, like this one. You don't have to put it there, but I really like using it and as a general rule. And then whatever is left over, we're gonna use to secure our 2 pieces of paper. Okay, so we're gonna cut in the middle, and then the middle again in 2 small little parts. Now, something that I want to say though is that if you have a large piece of paper and you don't need to cut additional pieces of paper, that's perfect. You don't have to do this, but I'm just showing you the process that I would follow if I didn't have paper enough. I would like to have this beginner friendly, because I think that we all should have fun making this stuff. Alright, now that we have the pieces cut, as you can see, we're gonna get the 2, this is gonna be kind of one of the sides on the closure, and these are the 2 sides of the folder. So let's get all the pieces. I probably should have done that before. Let's cut these in the desired size, like for me is this size, and then we're gonna take all the pieces, and don't throw away your scraps. We're gonna use them through the folder for many reasons, and you're gonna see that. Okay, so to start with, let's paste these 2 pieces together, and for that we're gonna use these 2 additional pieces that we cut. All what we have to do is just paste them back and forth. I'm a slow paster, so I'm gonna put this in fast camera, but you're gonna see the process. As you can see, I secured this in the 2 sides, and then I'm gonna do the same in this area. Again, I'm gonna do that in fast process. You can see that in the camera still. Alright, this is our folder, and what we need to do now is folding. Alright, so what I wanted to do is just secure the 2 pieces together. You can just paste one to another, but I added the small pieces just because I like that kind of the union is very strong. That's my personal taste, but you can do it in a different way as well. And then I'm using my 5 folder to fold this and to have crisp edges. And then this is the closure, and again, this closure is not necessary really, because we're gonna probably secure this folder in a different way. Now I like cutting the excess a little bit to make sure that the folder is the same size and all the little foils there, and then when you open, it's gonna look like that. So the next step is distressing the folder, and in my opinion it's very important to do it. So I'm gonna put this in fast camera, but you can see the process. Alright, I have the folder completed, and we're gonna start working in the inside. For the inside, one of the pieces that we're gonna make is an envelope. So for the envelope, I have a template, which basically is a square. So I took this piece of paper, I fold it as a triangle, as you can see here, and that gives me a perfect square. So and then I fold it in that way, and I cut it there, and then I fold it to the other side, and I mark the middle, as you can see here. If you don't see that, I'm gonna mark again. That middle is very important. I'm gonna tell you later how, but at this point, let's cut this and as a square so you can see how I make my envelope. Okay, let's use this paper cutter, and then we're gonna cut it. Alright, now that we have a square, and we are gonna mark that middle point, I'm gonna use my pen and I'm gonna make a little mark, kind of try to push so in the back I can see the mark. You cannot see that, but I can see very slight mark there, and so I'm gonna start folding the sides of the square to meet the middle. Like in the two sides of the envelope, it's gonna be looking like this, and then we basically have a perfect envelope this way. Alright, the next step is folding up. I like getting a little bit of the bottom part, as you can see here, so it looks perfectly matched. And then I'm gonna fold the very tippy top because I don't like how pointy it is, and I'm gonna cut it out because I like it this way. And then from the top I'm gonna do the same as well. And for the closure, again, you can use if you have a round puncher, that's totally fine, you can use that, but in my case I'm just gonna use my scissors here, like so. And that's a perfect closure now for me. Now what I'm gonna do is opening my envelope and cut the unions. Like you can see that here I'm gonna cut through the lines, and in the sides I'm gonna cut a little bit smaller. And now you can skip this step if you want to, but I feel like the envelope is a lot cleaner and a lot easier to manage when it's cut this way. So I'm gonna do it, but you don't have to. Okay, so let's get rid of this of the small scraps here, and we can paste it now. So it's a perfect envelope. Okay, so the way I like applying the glue is like I put a little bit on the edges of the flaps of the envelope, and then in the very edge of the bottom part of the envelope. That assures me that the envelope is going to be very well closed, and still the glue is not going to pass to the back of the envelope, or to the inside of the envelope, sorry. And now if you see, we're going to paste this way. And now the second piece is an ephemera folder. So we're gonna fold like 2/3 of the envelope like this, and then we're gonna fold again like so. And something that I really like doing is cutting in the side. You can see in my right side the paper is not aligned, so I'm gonna grab my paper cutter, and then I'm gonna line all the pieces together like so. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Alright, now we have our piece, and this is gonna be right here. And so I have a space for another pocket right here. So I'm gonna do this in a very simple way. We're gonna grab one of our scraps, and then what we're gonna do is just fold the bottom and the sides of that piece of paper like so. Like I'm folding the very bottom of this piece of paper, and then I'm gonna do the same with sides. And so what these kind of pockets give us is like some sort of it allows us to put some ephemera that has some volume on it. rather than the pockets that are folded and just pasted directly into the folder. This is going to allow us to put many pieces of paper in there. Alright, so now that we folded, we cut in the corners like triangles, like diagonal cuts like that, and in the sides as well. And this is gonna be our pocket. We can get rid of the scraps, and again you can put that in there. Let me show you how it's gonna be looking like. And so it's gonna go right there, and this is gonna go in the top of that, and so we're gonna have 2 pockets in this side, which is great, right? So we have our envelope here, and we need 1 more pocket in this side. And so we're gonna do this in this side, so it's gonna be like an vertical one instead of a horizontal one, and we're gonna do the same steps that we did with the other one. So we're gonna fold the bottom and the sides again, so like so, and then the bottom of the scrap of paper, and then again on the side. Because we have this small reduced space, I'm gonna measure this, and so it's gonna be more or less there. And so what I'm gonna do is, just because I know that it's in that space, I'm gonna fold here, and then I'm gonna fold once more to give more space, and that's it. And then I'm gonna cut the pieces and start doing the same diagonal cuts that I did in the other pocket as well. So diagonal cuts again in all the pieces, and we're gonna do this and for the 4 parts of the pocket. Alright, it's done. We have another pocket. It's pretty easy to make this, and this is how it's gonna be looking like in the folder. Okay, and we can put labels or whatever we want there. So for this other part, I decided to add an additional pocket, and this one is not going to have the flaps. This is going to be pasted directly into the envelope, and so I'm folding this that way, and I'm cutting that as a triangle, like a diagonal point, so it's visible and easy to take away the ephemera. The next step is distressing all the pieces. Again, I'm a slow crafter, so I'm gonna do that with all the pieces. I'm gonna put this in a very fast piece camera, and I'll be back. Alright, all our pieces now are distressed, and I really like how the edges look like, and they are pretty much ready to go into the folder. Now for the folder, I realized that some of the pieces don't have kind of contrast enough, and I had the idea to use tea and distressing, so I'm gonna do a little bit of distressing. I learned this trick from other junk journalers, and I really like it. So I put tea in the top of the distressing, and it's gonna get even darker brown. And so I'm gonna do is get in my envelope and just go where that piece is gonna meet the folder, and I'm gonna go around and basically paint it. So we're gonna do for all the pieces, and I'll be back. Alright, this is how it's looking like. I measured that with the pieces, and I added tea on it. We're gonna need to let this dry and be back. Alright, in the meantime, we can decorate our internal pieces. I'm gonna start with this envelope by putting the hand-cut flower, and then for the middle, I'm gonna be using this brown paper. I'm gonna use my hole puncher and make a hole on it, and then that little circular stuff, I'm gonna put that in the middle of my flower to add more detail on it, and I think it looks very, very cute. And we're gonna do the same thing with all of other pieces, and I have lots of die cuts around, so I'll do the same, and I'll be right back. Alright, we have all our pieces, and they look amazing. And so we have our pieces there. I'm gonna add a little bit of stamps on them, like this distress ink is gonna be helpful. So I have these small little stamps that I like using in all my projects. So there are like a few numbers and like kind of stamps from traveling and passports and stuff like that. And so I'm gonna stamp them there and have them ready to add to our folder. And then I'm gonna do the same with the other two pockets, and we're gonna add them to our folder very soon. So adding this other part as well. All right, our folder is dry, and I'm gonna start decorating the cover of our folders by adding a little bit more of distress ink because I want more contrast on it. But of course you can put more tea or whatever you really want to do with this, but I really think that distress ink is really fun to use as well. All right, I have a lot of die cut flowers. I did the same technique. I put the holes that I punched, and you know, those small confetti things on the flowers that I had. And now all what I'm doing is just accommodating those flowers and those die cuts into my cover and deciding where I'm gonna paste them. I'm not gonna keep you with me while I'm pasting because it takes me forever to do that, but I definitely wanted to show you how I decide to accommodate the pieces. So now that it's done, I'll be pasting, I'll be back. All right. The cover is done and I think it looks really cute. I think it's very fun to see, and now that this is done, I have to recognize that I'm not really happy. I think the pieces are pretty together, but there's just not quite enough contrast, and even if I put distress ink, it's not quite what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna try to go for plan B. So plan B is using these small little strips of white paper. I cut them up, and what I'm gonna do with them is that I'm gonna put that one in the top and one in the bottom, and I'm gonna stamp on them so I don't have any problems with them. I'm gonna again use my distress ink. I'm gonna go all over the place and you know, just have them a little bit of more interesting stuff added. Texture, color, it's very important, and you know how it is. It's very fun. Now you can add black as well. At this point I have been using brown just because, you know, I started with brown, but you can use black. Now I'm gonna paste. I'm gonna put this in fast mode. I'll be back. Now I see this, I decided that I want to add a third layer because I have 4 pockets, one in the top and one on the bottom, and so I want to notice difference. And to decide where to paste them, I'm gonna measure my pieces. Like for instance, this envelope and this one, I want the difference there, so I'm gonna just accommodate my little strip of white right there, and it's perfect in that place because there is enough contrast. And when I go to the other piece, it's perfect for the bottom part, but it's not perfect for the top part. So what I'm gonna have to do is just cut it in the middle and consider this piece into parts. And so for the left side is perfect, but for the right side I need to change the location. So now that this is done, I'm gonna take all the pieces away and I'm gonna put this in fast camera because I'm gonna put all the pockets together. Alright, everything is pasted and basically our file folder, our ephemera folder is done, but it wouldn't be done if it wasn't filled. So here I am again. I'm gonna fill it up with a lot of ephemera. It has a lot of pockets. I think it looks really cute. So like for example, this piece looks really cute in here, but probably the pocket is too big and the pieces are gonna fall. So I have this kind of this envelope filled with labels, and I'm gonna start filling it up, this ephemera folder, with some things that I will send to my pen pals. And I'm gonna start by these. I will probably make a bookmark to fill it up in the closure of this folder, but for now a label will be just fine. I'm trying to accommodate all the labels so I don't cover the beautiful white flowers that we have in our piece, into our book paper. And so as you can see, I have lots of labels because I love them so much, so much. I basically try not to buy every single label that I find in the market, but it's really hard for me. So anyway, I'm filling this up, but I will probably not close this ephemera folder totally because I would like to add some stickers that I always send to my pen pals. So in this pocket, I think I need something a little bit wider, so I'm gonna put several of these labels. And then in the envelope is a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna try to put the smaller pieces like this one. And then there is a couple more, there are a couple more here, and then it's closed and it's perfect. It looks amazing. I don't know what you think, but it's very beautiful. All right, we are ready for the closure. And for the closure, I'm gonna use this piece of paper. So what I'm gonna do, let me show you here because it doesn't fit into my paper cutter. So I'm gonna fold a little bit because I know that I will have to fold that for my belly band anyway. So I'm gonna cut it folded, if it makes sense. I don't know if it does, but I hope it makes sense once you see that. So as you can see, it's already folded and it gets in the paper cutter already folded. So I'm gonna use that fold because I needed to fold that anyway, as I said. And I'm gonna use my bone to add it there. And then I'm gonna use that to measure the back of this, and it's perfect. And then I will need to close this up. And for closing, I'm gonna use this sticker that says Happy Crafting, which is perfect, right? It's a very nice sticker that I made for my personal use, and it's very cute. And then I turn it around, and then I'm gonna take it out so we can decorate. So now that we have this out, I'm gonna put this very close camera so you can see how I cut these flowers. So I have a square and I fold it in 4, and then I go from the very bottom of the square, and I go in a square and kind of from waves, and I cut a petal. And then when I open it up, there is a flower with 4 petals, and then I'm gonna repeat the process for all the other flowers, and I'll be back. So I made 4 flowers, and those are perfect. I'm gonna clean up all the mess, and then we're gonna paste this, but first we're gonna stamp. And so I'm gonna be using just my easy and small stamps rather than trying to find other stamps, because all what I want is a background for this, and the numbers and tiny stamps are just fine for that. I'm gonna do this one with these small little numbers, and then I'm gonna go with the stamp or the waves stamps from traveling, and then a circular one, of course. And then again, I'm gonna put this in fast camera because I'm gonna put like kind of the confetti in the middle, and then paste this. Alright, we have the belly band completed, and we're gonna put this in our folder to look again how it looks like. I really like looking this over and over before I send it. So I think that this is looking amazing. I really are in love with the colors and the closure and the flowers, and it looks fantastic. I think that when it opens it's even better because It has like these beautiful colors and tons of labels and lots of pockets, of course. And I move this around and I have lots of labels everywhere. And again, I need to put stickers on it. I feel like it's missing something, so I'm gonna close this one also because I don't want them to open accidentally. I'm gonna use washi tape just because I want to reopen this envelope to add stuff up in there. So it's gonna be closed like that, but so far it looks beautiful and I'm really happy with the result. So let's put the belly band again. I also love the cover. I think the cover is really cute. It tells a lot of what is coming inside. It was more work than I was thinking that it was gonna take, but I love it. I think it's a really well used time. And I really didn't want to use stickers on this one, but I think this is the right time to use it. So I'm gonna use this beard here. And I love this beard because it's just in a very neutral color. It's perfect to add just a little something more on it. It's perfect, I think. Alright, this is the final result. I hope that you like it, and if you did, please consider subscribing. See you next week.